Robe is on location in Stockholm, Sweden, with lighting designer Palle Palme. Tell me about this location.
This is the actually old movie theatre called Gota Lejon in Stockholm, Sweden. It was built in around early 1900s, and we started as a movie theatre. And the last 25-30 years it has been a real theatre.
For all sorts of productions?
Yeah, productions like musicals, plays, opera and everything.
First I wanted to ask really how you got started in lighting and why, what led up to the career decision?
Why is the big question there. Now my father was a comedian. I was born up in the west coast of Sweden between Gothenburg and Malmö, a city called Halmstad. And he was there, the big comedian in town. And I started very early, like 6-year-old, and helped on the stage to do curtains and put stuff on stage and all that. So that was my beginning as a small stagehand, very young. Then I became more and more interested in lighting, but at those days there was just Fresnels and P23s available for work with. But we could still do it. We had painted cloths behind. So we could paint with light and different colors, and that was where I started on the theatre in Halmstad.
The fact that you could create drama with lights, was that what attracted you?
Yeah, yes, actually yes. With color, different colors, and how costumes appeared in different colors, and together with white light and angles for faces. And it was mostly like the comedies I worked with at that time, so it was not so much musicals and opera as nowadays. But we started with a fun thing.
And you never fancied being on the same side of the stage as your dad?
Never. That was a disaster. No. I tried in school, a school review, but I felt so embarrassed. Nothing for me. I'm behind. That's a much better place to be, in the darkness, somewhere back.
And what was your route to becoming a professional?
After the army in Sweden, I was 20 years old. So I took a flight to Stockholm, went here for 2 days. I went around all the theatres because I worked as a stagehand on the theatre in Halmstad before. I felt like, I would like to be on the road with some touring theatre or concert or whatever. And nobody was saying yes, because I was too young. I was a little sad, but I went to the radio house and I got to work there in the taped recording studio. And one day I met in the coffee shop, I met an actor who has been to the theatre in Halmstad, and I knew him from there. And I said, don't you know anyone in Stockholm here that is working on theatre that can hire me? Well, my neighbor is a technical manager at one theatre. I can ask him. And the next day he called me, this man, and offered me a job as a lighting guy on a review, comedian review here in Stockholm. That was my first work, 1983.
Excellent, fantastic.
I'm extremely happy to get that call. My best call in my life.
So that got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
And then, like after that, did you get like a big break or a significant show or anything?
Yeah, after that I went on tour with the Swedish National Touring Theatre, and then I went as a technical manager at Bern Salonger here in Stockholm. 1990 there came a guy from Småland, South Sweden, magician, not known at all, and came with a VHS tape with the numbers from Sigfrid Roy and David Copperfield. And he said that, I would like to do a show like this in Sweden, in Stockholm. And there was like a round table of different people that should aim for what show is coming up next time. And I was one of them. And everybody said, magic show, Las Vegas in Sweden, never happens. But the CEO was very fond of it. And he said, we put in a lot of money here and do the show. So that show, the magic show, went as a big break for the magician and also for me. And that was 1991 on Burns. The guy called Joe Labero, he's now a very known magician around the world. You
do a large cross-section of work at the moment. You do theatre, musicals, pop shows and so on, and you do some opera as well.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the mix of all of them?
Yeah, I do. Mostly I like musicals because for me it's an art form where everything meets. You have comedy, you have dance, you have music, you have opera, you have all the art forms there is connected to one piece, musicals. And I'm also personally very fond of musicals as a hobby.
What are the most important things to consider when lighting a musical?
I think because we are doing the work for the people in the audience. I'm not working to have most lamps or the most macros in the lighting desk or most effects or everything. We're doing it for the audience. The people that are sitting there and paying the tickets are the ones that are going to have the best thing out of the show. So I always start to think from their perspective. What is the thing that they would like to see? And they are here to see the artists mainly, and hear them sing and hear them act. So for me, the most important thing is to see the artist in the right way, to follow the mood of the action. Sadness, happiness, everything goes also through the lighting and the color choice I do. That's the most important for me. The background and everything else is something else, but to see the actor in the right light, that follow the action, that's the main thing for me.
Can you tell me a little bit about the show that you're doing here at Gota Lejon?
Yeah, this is a show that we transfer from Malmö. It's called Is This What We Call Love in Swedish. It's a musical from two of our most famous singer-writers in Sweden, Lasse Holm and Torgny Söderberg. They have written almost all the biggest hits you can find, except ABBA's hits then. But they are almost on the same level as ABBA, those two guys. And it's a musical, it's a jukebox musical about their songs and the story inside that.
I believe it's one of many that you've actually been juggling over the last couple of months.
Yeah. Since, 6 weeks back, I started with Moulin Rouge in Helsinki. Then it was Beetlejuice in Norrköping, Dream Girls on Lejon Theatre. We do Orup, one of the guys from Gears that you have met before, down in Gothenburg. We do a musical called Flowers for Mrs. Harris, which is a rather new musical from England, in Karlstad. And then we have this as well here on Gota Lejon. So it's 6 productions in 6 weeks for me.
In 2019, you did a dance show, Varoffa, with the artist Fredrik Benke Riedman.
Yeah,
He's known at the university as Benke, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was him and an industrial robot, which must have been very challenging to light. Can you just tell us a little bit about
that was extremely challenging, because the robot was programmed in a way that you couldn't stop it. You could stop it, but then the whole piece went off. You couldn't continue. So the dancer, Benke, he was alone on stage together with this robot. And it was fantastically programmed by ABB from Västerås, a big company in Sweden. But if he was on the wrong position just for 1 millimeter, the robot stopped. To light it also, it was lots of big shadows coming in from the side. We used very sparely lights. One from the side, one from there, one from here. And it was fantastic. And the robot could put up things and take things. It took up a laser and held the laser against the dancer and followed him with the robot. And he was dancing. It was chased by the laser. It was so many fantastic things with that.
How long was the piece?
It was 40 minutes, that one. And then we had the second act. It was Rite of Spring by Stravinsky. And the second act was a big pool and rain. It was 20 dancers come on the stage, it started to rain on them, and then they were dancing in the water. So that show for audience was fantastic. The first piece with the robot and the second piece with the pool.
Can you tell us about a couple of other highlights from your career?
Number one for me, I must say, was Las Vegas, 2017, when I again worked with Joe Labero, the magician, and he had the opportunity to have a show on Paris Hotel, on the big stage there. So that was for me, because I love Vegas, and to come in there and work was great for me. And so it was something else.
What do you most love about your work?
Oh, the people. All the people that I'm working with. It's not like a 9-to-5 work that every day come to the same people and the same thing. Every day, because I'm so lucky to work with different productions and different styles, every day is new for me. I meet new people, I meet them, and people in Sweden are so fantastic to work with.
Is there a show or an event that you dream about lighting?
I dream about doing a show on Broadway. I have done in West End and I have done almost all over the world, but never on Broadway. But it's really tough, because the level there of the light design is so high. It's really, really the best people are working there, and it's tough to come in there. Not only working permits and all that, but also to show how good you are. I think that you have to come with a production, if you can say like a Swedish production, that we find a new musical that can transfer to Broadway. In that case, it might be possible.
What's great about living and working in Sweden?
Working-wise, we have, I think, the highest level of technicians in the world. The people that are working here are so talented and with so much knowledge and so professional. So for me, I cannot tell some other land in the world that have that level of technical knowledge.